right, fam. We got one for the books now. If ever there was a time where I needed some feedback, this here segment is the one. Okay. So as of recently, I was hanging out on Cinco de Mayo not that long ago, and I was hanging out with a homegirl of mine, and she's a big supporter of the podcast. You guys make sure you turn into the Black Sheep Perspective, and she's also a supporter of this vlog series. And when we hung out, she said, "Well, hey, before the night's over, I'm gonna have some questions for you, and it's up to you whether or not you want to address them on your vlog series." I said, "All right, perfect. Shit, we're gonna be drinking. It's gonna be a long night. We're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be a lot of good vibes. Her sister, friends, mixed friends of ours. Mix it up with other people. That's the best recipe for great conversation in regards to all types of topics. And I go into podcast mode. I start asking questions. And anyways, so midway through the evening, we were basically just discussing about the downfalls of being a certain way and it working against you trying to find a significant other. If you're very picky, it's an uphill battle. If you have certain ways about you that somebody really has to accept and adjust to, whatever that might be, it's an uphill battle. We all know that the dating game, it's a very tough scene, and people, for all the right and wrong reasons, just don't. I don't think that people are honest enough with who they are, what they want, and raise that bar a little bit higher in order to better your chances of being in a relationship that's just not going to have a 3 to 5 year shelf life. So skipping forward, we went through all that, and as we touched different topics about it, she said, "Well, here's the main thing." She said, "Are you the type of guy that has an issue with a girl calling you daddy?" Well, you can tell right there with my reaction, this is gonna go somewhere weird. And I responded for myself, and I'm gonna tell you guys, my response, obviously. But I know that, I'm very different from, your average person, especially when it comes to these fellas. So, we started ping-ponging what it is about daddy and why people like it and don't like it and where it comes from. And this is where I need you guys' help from. So to be quite clear, hell fuck nah, I do not like being called daddy or papi. So don't think it's a fucking, Americanized version of it. No, here's what it is, man. And this is the depths of what we went into. She was a little surprised because she thought a lot of guys like to be called that. I think for the most part, she's right. I think most fellas, let's not say most of them like to be called that. Let's just say that majority of them are okay with it. I would say maybe out of the majority, if we said the majority was, 7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10, I would say at least half of those 7 or 8 liked it. Like maybe they didn't prefer it, like they asked for it, but they do like it, they appreciate it. It does something for them. There's reasons for that. And there's a lot of layers. And there's even more layers as to why that female is calling you daddy or papi. There, right there. And I know a lot of y'all shaking your head like, oh shit, man, here we go. I've done that once or twice, but I don't think I'm the type that he's referring to. Well, who knows? But I basically told her that the reason I really dislike it is because it has no connection to me whatsoever at all. And being that I'm a very psychological person, I'm really into the mind and how the brain works and how we're all affected from a lifelong ordeal of experiences. It's just a lifelong ordeal of experiences that continuously influences how we are today. But the bulk of that lifelong ordeals that influence how we are today happens in our childhood and into our adolescence. Yeah, when you're already passing, when you're in college and all that, maybe late high school, yeah, you can change. You can add a little, subtract a little, modify some things, get turned on to some things. But that influence, that big impact's already there. So when someone's calling me daddy, someone, we're talking about a female, obviously, I believe you got daddy issues. If you don't got daddy issues, and you just like to use the term, well, then maybe that's just a little thing of yours because you like the name calling, and maybe you think that the typical man would like that. Like it's empowering. It makes them feel like this macho of a man because this female's calling him daddy. I don't get that. That is fucking daddy issues. Um, and I'm not going into the depths of daddy issues. I'm gonna cover that on another video. But just the whole topic of them calling you daddy or papi, um, it just tells me, for the most part, unless we have a clear conversation about it, and you obviously know not to do it with me, that growing up somewhere in your childhood, you probably are missing your daddy. There's a daddy issue somewhere there. And again, there's so many layers to it. I'm not gonna discuss them all here. Touch that on another video. But there's something going on there that makes you want to refer to me as daddy. There's something going on there that I give you this manly feeling of what you've missed a portion of your life, what wasn't there, what might have been rocky within your childhood, things of that nature. Maybe it's something even deeper than that, and your dad was there the whole time, but maybe he just wasn't very fatherly, not very loving, but he was there. So maybe you don't connect it as in daddy issues, but you didn't have that good loving experience of saying daddy, referring to your real dad as a daddy or your papi as papi. So, for one, not to beat a dead horse, I'm not into it at all. It's almost a turn off for me. If I'm shit, man. I mean, if we're going on a date, if we're on a second date, you already heard this. I'm already letting you know, hey, if you're that type of girl, don't shoot those comments my way. And if you are that type of girl, I'm probably gonna want to dig deeper into your psyche and see what the hell's going on there and why. But with that said, the reason I think a lot more fellas do, at least they're unbothered by it, and the other half prefer it maybe, because it is empowering to them. I think there's some weird thing, and this is this is an assumption. This is 43 years of experience that, from collecting data of just seeing and knowing people and my readings and all that stuff. It's empowering the same way it's empowering when somebody calls you coach. If you're a certain mixed martial arts instructor, they call you master or sensei or I forgot all the other fucking words, but whatever. It's empowering. Boss. They call you boss. It's empowering. Feels good. Hey, boss. Boss lady. Oh, okay. What's up? Yeah, that's me. So I think there's a lot of guys there that's why it doesn't bother them, because yeah, I'm her daddy. And they just don't go deep into the thought like I do. I'm an over-analytical person. I 100% admit that. I see nothing wrong with it. To each their own. Some people are over-analytical and it drives them nuts. I'm over-analytical like a detective on the case, but it doesn't drive me nuts. I'm in and out of it, try to do it as much as I can, and then boom, bounce out. I'm not gonna waste energy. I gave it what I got. But I'm not saying that most of these guys are small-minded people who just brush it off like it doesn't bug them, but I don't think they give it depth, in-depth thought. If they did, maybe it would bother them a little bit. So it is what it is. I can't answer for them. That's an assumption that these guys, are like that. But then you have the other side of it, that these guys really like it because they might have had some issues there. When I say these issues, I'm talking about issues that can stem from the mothers in their life, the fathers in their life, a lack of a kid in their life. There's layers to that as well. Again, I'm not trying to play psychiatrist at this moment, but maybe that's why those guys appreciate it more than the others. The guys who don't mind it and kind of dig it, I think it's an empowering thing. I think they don't give it much thought, so it's just cool. Yeah, I'm her daddy. Yeah, her papi. Yeah, and they just look at it like that. And then you got a few me's in that mix that just look at it like, whoa, who the fuck you calling daddy? You should be calling one fucking person daddy, one person, and that's your daddy. I need y'all to understand that. Like I can't. I'm trying to go about this the nice way. Sometimes I go a little off the hinge when I get emotionally involved in some of these beliefs of mine. But daddy is one person, is it not? I mean, is there Is there much magic to that? Am I that off the wall by saying that? There's one dad, there's one pop, one papi. Maybe there's a grandfather, maybe there's an abuelo, and there's different nicknames to that. You know, I get that, but that's all there is. So if you're calling me or another man daddy or papi, let's get papi out of there for now, because there's a lot of Latinos who use papi as a what's up, brother? What's up, buddy? What's up? You know, Puerto Ricans. I don't know who else, but it's used, and some females might use it in the same context. They're not using it in the daddy sense. But when you use it in the daddy sense, when they say papi in the daddy sense, I just can't shake it. In my mind, it's just like, why would you, what is it about me that makes you feel that I'm like fatherly? Why would you think fatherly shit when you're with your lover, your man? You know, why it has to be daddy? So, you know, I definitely know I'm in a small percentile there. Hey, if you're gonna come on camera and talk to the people, then come over here. If not, get the fuck out. Excuse me, you're being rude. But myself, it's just not my thing, man. Not at all. But I really want to see where you guys are at now. Ladies, if you're into that, please understand why you're into it first. Make sure you figure it out, because if you got a guy like me or maybe some other guy who doesn't mind it, but little do you know, he's looking at it more of a domination thing. He's looking at it more of a sexual, you know, thing, and not just liking it as much as you think he likes it. Then you got the guys who really do like it a lot. And now you need to realize, oh, he likes it when I call him that. Well, then you should be going deep into thought as to why he likes that and prefers that before you just go to yelling out daddy and papi all the fucking time, okay? So, but seriously though, I think it's, that was a great question by Nisa, and we went into way more details than that, but I want you guys' feedback on that. How many of you guys really do like that? Fellas, let me know. Do you dig it? To what extent do you dig it, and why? If you don't mind, break it down just a little bit. Ladies, are you quick to do that? Do you like doing that? Or if you don't like doing it, do you do it if the man asks you to do it? Or you're completely against it because of certain reasons? Or does it just come out of you, you know, let's just say, somewhat naturally, depending on how deep you are in with the relationship with the person, because you think and assume that he likes it? Would love y'all's feedback. We need to tell Nisa something. We need to clear this up a little bit, because there's a lot of layers to it all, and we're gonna get down to it. So make sure y'all let me know. Comment down below. I'm gonna holler back.